start ready for our first event. My name is Gentry Fitch. I'm a member of the Fitch Community Student Voice team. With me is...
I'm Nicole and I'm also a member of the Fitch Community Student Voice team.
So I'm sure as many of you know, we have been in Frankfurt all day trying to lobby the Senate, specifically Senators Embry and Robinson, to drop their amendments to House Bill 236. We have prepared a statement.
Yesterday, the Fitch Committee Student Voice team received word that there were 2 amendments being added to HB 236 that, for all practical purposes, would guarantee its defeat in the legislature. On the most absolute and unequivocal terms, we do not support these amendments. HB 236 allows local school districts the option of adding a student member to their superintendent screening committees. The 2 amendments by Senators Embry and Robinson have nothing to do with this issue. We have been working on this legislation tirelessly, in between classes and homework, for too many nights and weekends to count. We did everything we have learned that you're supposed to do when you try to turn a bill into a law. We have lobbied, testified, written many opinion pieces, met with fellow advocates, tweeted, posted, and texted nonstop. We made our case, and were told by both the House and Senate Education Committees that we had made it so well, our bill should be favorably passed to the chamber floors. So it was a shock to learn the other day that people whose own bills did not move forward on their own merits wanted to piggyback on the success of ours. Though we are told this is how the game of politics is played, we do not understand why we should be penalized for following the democratic process by those who want to subvert it. This is not what we need in civics class. After receiving word of the unrelated riders that were attached to our bill, we immediately reached out to Senators Embry and Robinson to talk about it and their amendments.
Our intent was to convince lawmakers who we depend on in Frankfurt to hear our voices as we attempt to make the case for why Kentucky students should be valued and House Bill 236 passed. We wanted to urge the senators to not politicize our otherwise bipartisan, cost-free opt-in measure. This legislation supporting students to be more civically engaged in our schools. How could anyone oppose it? But both senators told us outright that their legislation is more important than ours. More confusing still is that both Senators Embry and Robinson stated that they support the concept of House Bill 236. But they also stated publicly that they are playing politics with our bill to force House leadership to hear their more controversial amendments, which weren't heard in House committees on their own merit. We are disheartened by the fact that our elected officials would use our bill to further their political agendas. We do not understand why legislators would take our hard work and try to claim it as their own. We now ask both Senators Embry and Robinson to resign their amendments to House Bill 236 so that our bill can be passed and the Commonwealth can prove to our nation that we're above political games and we can work to prove that student voice matters. Please pass our bill.